Hi everybody, Sanbonani. Welcome to my channel. And on this channel, Mama reality TV shows, ama celebrities, kanye nama YouTubers. If it is your first time joining me today and you like the content over here, do not forget to press the subscribe button. Langizanzi. So let's talk about this, you guys. Candice did a reading on AKA, and not so long ago, she did a reading on Anele Tembe. So Candice is a medium here on YouTube. She is a YouTuber too, you guys. So part of this whole thing is just her creating content. Now and then people would ask her in the comment section, please do a reading on such and such. And I think because she has South African viewers, she gets to do South African cases. And also I feel like she has received positive response from South African viewers. So she's just now and then doing all of these big cases. So this was a case that she was asked to do. I want to say this as you come into the comment section, that you have a right to come and say, listen, I don't believe this woman. I feel like all of this information that she is putting forward is on the internet, and she got it on the internet, and then she just tied the loose ends the way that I would do it if I was just trying to conclude with what happened in this case. So there's nothing special about what she's reading, but also respect the people that will come and say, listen, I believe that this woman is on to something. There's no need for us to get so emotional in the comment section, because this is not something that is personal to any of us. So umphakathi that is just liking indaba zabantu. It just so happened that in this case, it's Sithanda Indaba on a subject that is very sensitive to the people that were really close to that situation. But there is no need for us to actually fight about this situation in the comment section. She started by saying, you guys, that AKA is acknowledging his addiction with women. He does say that was his biggest downfall. In fact, the reason that this situation happened is because of his addiction with women. That was his weakness. Okay, he does talk about how Anele knew and felt that he was cheating, and Anele was right to feel that, you guys. The biggest shock for me, or should I say something that was strange for me, was that it is a reading of AKA, who was a father, and the biggest thing that was about, or that everybody was worried about or talking about when AKA passed, was the fact that he was a father to Cairo, but there is no mention of her in this reading. And I kind of felt like, wouldn't it make sense that if AKA is passing a message, the one person that he really would want to pass a message to would be his daughter, Cairo? It could be that she edited it out, but for me, it was just something to note, that I would have thought that he would have said something as far as him leaving his daughter behind, but I didn't hear any of that, you guys. She does say that from both sides, they talk about how they played each other. On the one hand, AKA was somebody that was addicted to women, so he cheated on Anele. So with that situation came emotional abuse. Whereas from Anele's side, he does say that Anele was very manipulative. So mentally, it was like a mental abuse, because she was very manipulative. Also, he talks about how not only was she manipulative, but also she would get physical with him. And when she talks about that room, she says that the reason that AKA did not want Anele to leave in that moment is because she was hysterical, and he did not want her to leave while she was the way that she was. He wanted her to calm down. At the same time, it was a volatile situation because she was upset and she was being physical with him, you guys. So that is the case when it comes to the abuse. He was emotionally abusive, she was mentally and physically abusive to him. However, you guys, I want to point out that when she had done Anele's reading, she had said that Anele says, yes, I did that to her, but me being a woman, okay, what damage could I have done to him? So I guess that she's not taking the physical abuse as seriously as I don't know, you would take if it was a man abusing a woman. Okay, that's what she said, that yes, I did that, but could I have hurt AKA? I'm thinking being as tiny as she was and AKA being as big as he was. I don't know, you guys. Okay. Also, she goes on to say that AKA mentions that after the incident took place, every single day or every moment of his life was filled with guilt. Okay, because of course he knew what had happened there and he knew that he wasn't telling the truth. And also, just to remember, when he is talking about the addiction to women and his weaknesses, he does talk about the fact that there was one woman that he had gotten attached to while he was in a relationship with Anele. And if you are somebody that had to believe this reading, then you will have to believe that that would have been his girlfriend, because shortly after that, AKA dated somebody. There was a thing that shocked a lot of people, how quickly he moved on, you guys. So maybe this explains it, because he says that while he was in this situation with Anele, he had already made up his mind that this was the woman that he was going to move forward to, even though he hadn't told Anele. And deep down, Anele knew that that was the situation. That's why she was so upset, you guys. He says that, or she says that he said that after that, you guys, he knew that it was coming. He knew that his day was coming because he felt it. He felt that there was somebody that, even though he was telling this story that he was telling as to how Anele passed away, remember, AKA said that Anele jumped, okay, meaning that she committed suicide, okay. So he says that even though he was telling that story, there was one person that did not believe it, okay? Listen, you guys, there were many people that did not believe AKA, but I feel like if you had to believe this reading, he is saying one person because maybe that one person is the person that ends up leading to his passing. He says that he's telling this truth. Even he himself was trying to believe the lies that he was telling. He was trying to convince himself that the lies that he was telling were the truth. But there's one person that did not believe it. He says that there are powerful people that were behind him feeling like they were coming for him. Now, I do wonder, you guys, if there was a situation, if it wasn't just an instinct of, maybe I'm not safe here. If he really, if AKA really felt like he wasn't safe and that they were coming for his life, I'm just wondering why he thought it was safe for him to go to Durban at the time, okay? But that's what she says, you guys. So there's one person that does know from his side, knows the secret, but there's another person that he seemed to not be able to convince that what he is saying happened the way that he was saying, okay? Because the reading AKA was done after Anele's reading, she does say that he is saying the way that Anele described the situation that happened is she is right. What she told you, she is right about that, okay? He also says that he's very sorry about what happened and he is trying to get forgiveness from the other side, from Anele, okay? Here's the thing, you guys. I'm the person that wants to believe that once we pass away, once we are on the other side, we do not have to worry about the things of the world, And sometimes when I hear things like this, I'm like, I'm not looking forward to dying, because it looks like we are still dealing. You go to the other side and you're still dealing with the things that were left unresolved on earth. And I'm like, no, I'm not looking forward to going to the other side, because I just thought that you just leave everything behind, because obviously now when they're on the other side, for her to say that AKA is still trying to ask for forgiveness from Anele, there's something about that doesn't make sense to me, because obviously on the other side, Anele has a full understanding of AKA's position in this case, and AKA has a full understanding of Anele's position in this case from the other side. So how are they still trying to ask for forgiveness from each other? That part does not make a lot of sense to me, okay? So listen, you guys, then she describes the situation. She says, okay, they are in a room. She says the balcony had a balcony door, okay? So, and she even describes it to say where she lives, usually the flats or the apartments will have balcony windows, not balcony doors, but this particular one that she's seeing has a balcony doors. And in South Africa, usually balconies, you have a door that leads you to the balcony. Okay, now I'm thinking that how do they get to the balcony if they only have balcony windows? Okay. They need balcony doors. Anyway, you guys, listen. So they get into the fight of and Anele is hysterical. He did not want Anele to leave because of the way that the state that she was in at this time. She is getting physical with him, and he is trying to prevent her from being physical with her, and they keep pushing each other towards the door, but he is not realizing how close they are to the balcony door and how close they are to the edge of the balcony. So that's what happens. They get into that, and then with one move she goes over. Okay, so he insists that it was a mistake. Okay, they were fighting and then she fell. It was an accident, her falling. But we all know that when AKA told the story, he never told the fact that it was, or he never told he never said that it was an accident. He said Anele committed suicide. Now coming to his passing, remember she says that AKA said that after he had the incident had taken place, he had told the story that the way that he told the story, he was still living with guilt. But not only was he living with guilt, he was living with the feeling of knowing that those people were coming, because he talks about powerful people that were behind this whole thing. He does talk about how there was exchange of money and the people that actually, certain people that were not involved in the situation started getting involved in the situation. So it is up to you how you interpret that information, and also it's up to you to just say that's all rubbish. But somebody accepted payment that had nothing to do with the situation, and because of that they got involved. Okay, but it was AKA's passing was because of Anele's passing, according to this reading, you guys. Okay, listen, I do feel like, you guys, we're never gonna know the answers, okay? But I feel like if you are somebody that is desperate to know the answers in this case, and you are somebody that is that believes in mediums, maybe this medium is offering you as something, okay? When she did the reading, Anele's perspective was, listen, yes, mentally I was going through a lot. And there was an incident that had happened similar to this one, where Anele ended up threatening to take her own life. She said, yes, I did it. There was an incident that happened that was exactly like this one, where I threatened to take my own life. And because that incident had taken place, it was easy for people to be convinced that I had done that, but that is not what happened. That's what, during Anele's reading, that's what she said. Anele saying, that is not what happened. Yes, I had done this before. Yes, I had threatened this before, but I did not do it, okay? And she was upset about the fact that AKA did not tell the truth as far as the incident is concerned, you guys. Listen, it is up to you, like I said in the beginning, whether you believe it or not, and it's okay if you do, and it's okay if you don't, but that is what the reading is giving us, okay? Anyway, you guys, I did order that book, okay? I did order that book that has been written about AKA and Anele's passing, and it's getting delivered today, you guys. I tried not to watch the author's interview that she did. I think I saw something pop up that she did a podcast. Did she do MacG podcast and chill? I don't know, but something popped up that was an interview that she did, and I tried to avoid that interview because I felt like I'm not going to enjoy the book when I read it, because quite honestly, when you look at what is already out there in the public, the information that is already in the public, and then we have this reading over here, I'm just thinking what more could be in the book. Okay, so I was trying to not watch too much of what she's saying, because she talks about this book a lot, so that I can get to read the book. So I can enjoy, when I enjoy to read the book, then I can be able to come here and tell you what's in the book. So I'm waiting for the delivery today, and finally, you guys, we are going to find out what that woman put in that book that the families are not happy about. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Nginithanda kakhulu.